Hi everyone, I'm Ilka Oster.
And I'm Jo Drennan. Welcome back to our relationship series. Last week we spoke about chemistry, and today, Ilka, our topic is...
What we see in others is a reflection of ourselves. What is that about, Jo?
Well, you know when you see other people and you might see them confident or caring, kindness, things that you see in others actually exist within yourself.
So when I look at you and I think, God, you're so awesome, does that mean that that's in me too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
What about the days when you just really get under my skin?
What? Come on, that doesn't happen ever. I don't do that to anyone ever.
Well, I know. Yeah, no, not very often, hey.
They're all opportunities for you, Ilka, every time I get under your skin.
That's right. I'm going red. That was kind of a joke, but we do all have people that do get under our skin, don't we? We have maybe a boss or, usually a spouse or a partner at some stage might get under your skin. Your children, they're always good at that. So what's that about? When things are triggering you and really riling you up, does that mean you have that in yourself too?
It does. It does. It's a challenging concept, isn't it? Because we tend to put blame on others for making us feel like if we're angry or hateful or fearful or frustrated. It's much easier to put the blame on someone else rather than understand that feeling is actually within us.
Yeah.
And it's reflected back to us through other people and our relationships.
Yeah, so what's a good example? Like if you're saying something like, that person keeps criticizing me, it's an opportunity for you to look inside and see how much you may be criticizing yourself.
Yes.
Or if you're saying something like, they just keep disrespecting me, maybe you need to look at how much you are disrespecting yourself. And sometimes even it really is an opportunity to, well, not so much an opportunity, but you perhaps want to move in the direction towards, say into a bigger version of yourself, like do something. You were talking about an example that you had where you...
a few years back, I joined a networking program, and a speaker came in one day, and this was back when a part of me, inside of me, wanted to be a public speaker, but I was terrified and didn't believe I could do it. And this woman came in and presented to the group, and she was brilliant. She was so bubbly, effervescent, and great information, great quality content as well. And I despised her. At the time I didn't know what was going on, but that feeling was so strong. I could see that she was amazing, but I almost hated her for it.
Yeah, wow. So what if people experienced that? What did you do at that time?
Well, when I came to understand the feeling and how I was just sitting in this space of fear and not moving into being the bigger version of myself, I took steps to clear up my rubbish around my fears around public speaking, and started doing it little by little by little.
Yeah, and I think that's what I meant by not looking within. We don't have to step into perhaps going out and doing something like public speaking or something that we're really drawn to do, but by keeping on criticizing ourselves or disrespecting ourselves, it takes up a lot of time and energy, doesn't it, Jo?
It takes time and energy. It takes I think the big thing is awareness. Like I said, back then I didn't understand what was going on. Now I do, and I can really pick up easily when I feel this way and go, whoa, what's going on there? What am I doing to myself rather than what is this person doing to me?
Yeah, and I think that is such a good point, because the more you do start to reflect inwardly when something is reflected outwardly to you, particularly if something that doesn't serve you that you're seeing in another person, then this process gets quicker, because the more you understand, you start to understand about yourself, the more you start to be loving towards yourself, because you're actually going and listening to yourself and and really taking the time to reflect on what's going on for you. So you're spending time with you, as opposed to spending time thinking about other people, perhaps what's going, and you're carrying other people around in your head, as opposed to carrying around your goals and your dreams for yourself. So yeah, it really, really can move you forward in life, which is what you want.
It can. And self-awareness is the first step, which can pop up every day in your life. And if you can, when these situations arise, if you can find a way to simply understand or catch the thought at the time that someone's criticizing you. Actually, a great way, when I was first trying to do this, I used a technique of moving my body, because I'm a kinesthetic learner, to either click my fingers or just slap my thigh or clap my hands, something to help me recognize that something's going on within me that is an opportunity for me to deal with.
Yeah, and then you can, if you're in a place where perhaps you can't deal with it at the time, at least then you can go home later and perhaps write something down, or really start to explore it and get a good awareness of it. Because again, it's normally a rope line back to some of these things, like we talked about in our chemistry talk. It rope line back to some of the things that happened to you in childhood, and the feelings that you got of not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or you were felt as a child you did feel criticized and perhaps couldn't do much about it back then. But now that you're an adult, there's an opportunity to change that. Sometimes that can seem a bit stuck and trapped if you haven't started doing that yet. Yes, but it will move the more you do it.
Yeah, and frustrating, very frustrating, because you continue to see these same things popping up, but nothing changes. And
if you don't deal with it.
Exactly. In our chemistry talk, we did give one simple strategy for recognizing what these could be, and that was simply to take out some paper, write down all the emotions or the things that are challenging you in your current relationship. Get a fresh piece of paper, write down the things that challenged you in your childhood, and then find the similarities. And that right there is what you want to start dealing with.
Yeah. So we'd love to hear what your experience has been with this. Is this what you do? If you see something in another person, do you, as particularly positive and things that really light you up, do you see that as part of yourself, or do you do it more with the negative, or perhaps do you not do it with the negative? You just carry that person around inside your head instead of looking at yourself. Love to hear what your experience has been.
Yes, and we'll see you next week on our relationship series, and
inspire someone today.